I know Conor Benn's struggle. I know the path that he's walked, or that he's walking, because I've been there and done it. Living in the shadow of a legend, trying to create your own name, create your own path, earn your own respect, regardless of the name that you have. It's an extremely hard, cruel path to walk, and he's walking that path like I did. So, even though boxing is a very brutal sport, it was something that was always, I guess, of interest to me because of what my father was able to achieve. He was a world champion. He was one of the biggest names in boxing in the world, not just in Britain. And I grew up watching that and wanting to emulate that. I knew it would be tough. Nobody believed in me, including him. But I wanted to prove him wrong. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. And that's what drove me into the sport. What I love about boxing is the purity of it. There's no cheating. There's no cutting corners. I mean, there is, but if you do that, you can't make it to the top. You have to grind, you have to sacrifice, you have to be dedicated in every sense of the word. And the guys that dedicate their lives to the sport are able to make it to the top and to become world champion. It's pure. It's noble. It's, in my opinion, it's the toughest sport in the world, but it's also the most rewarding, the most fun, the most respected. That's what I love about boxing. So I've been compared to my father from day one. I remember fighting on Channel 5, terrestrial TV, 2 million viewers in my first fight. And you listen to the commentators and they're comparing me to him in my very first fight. So you're comparing a novice to a world champion. Completely unfair, but I learned very quickly that that's just what I was gonna have to deal with. We have the same name, we're in the same sport. He's my father, there's always gonna be that comparison, and I knew I had to do everything I could to kind of make my own path. I had to win in style, I had to build my record, I had to separate myself from my peers, the other fighters in the game. I had to be my own man. And it took a long time, but now 32 wins under my belt, I've done that. It's been a hell of a journey, and I've still got so much more left to do, which is the amazing thing. Even at 32 years old, there's still some huge fights out there. I'm having a huge fight in a couple months. A fight that was born and bred from my father and his rivalry with Nigel Benn, and now I'm fighting his son 30 years later, which is a crazy thing to think, but it's gonna happen. And these types of fairy tale fights are what every fighter kind of grows up wishing that they could be a part of, and now I'm here, so I'm excited. I know Conor Benn's struggle. I know the path that he's walked, or that he's walking, because I've been there and done it. Living in the shadow of a legend, trying to create your own name, create your own path, earn your own respect, regardless of the name that you have. It's an extremely hard, cruel path to walk, and he's walking that path like I did. I know how hard it is, and this fight here is his opportunity to leave his father's shadow. If he beats me, his name is made. He never walks in his father's shadow again. So this fight is everything to him, and that is why I have to take it seriously, because that fire, I had that same fire. When I was starting off in my career, I had that fire. What can I do to make people stop comparing me to my dad and get out of that shadow? What could I do? And I just had to keep winning, win, knock this guy, knock that guy, beat that guy, win, and until eventually I did it. He's got a shot now to kind of skip all of that. He doesn't have to win 32 fights. He's won 21 already, which he's doing well, but he hasn't beat anybody of note yet. If he beats me, he's a superstar. Mental strength, mental health in boxing, huge. In my opinion, and a lot of people who don't understand how to fight or understand combat in general, they think you just have to be strong and tough and hate the opponent and just be mean, and yeah, all that stuff may play a part, but the mental side of things, 75–80% mental, and people who don't know anything about fighting are like, no way, but it's the truth, I've seen guys, they're big and strong and they look good and they got the six-pack, but they'll go in the ring and they'll get beat by, an average dude, you know, who's not that fast or not that strong, or a little bit overweight, but that guy has got the killer instinct. He won't quit, and he'll beat the guy with the physique and the strength, because he just has that mentality. He has that mental fortitude not to give up, and that's a huge part of boxing, because there are going to be times where you're going to be in positions where you don't want to continue. You want to look for a way out. It's too tough. I'm hurt. I don't think I can win. I don't know if I should be in this ring. I don't know if I should be in this gym with these guys. You know, I'm not good enough. The only thing which gets you through those periods is mental strength. A huge part in boxing. For me, mental strength comes from being positive. You know, I don't wish bad upon anybody. I don't put people down. You know, it's frequencies. If you're a negative person, negative things happen to you. Karma is a real thing. I found that to keep my mental health, you just have to try and be as happy as you can be. Even if you're not in a happy situation, or you're hurt, or you know things aren't going right, you know, as long as you keep that kind of positive outlook on life, it really does help. And another thing is belief and the will to achieve what you want to achieve. People who kind of have the attitude of, oh, well, you know, I'll give it a shot, but if it doesn't work out, then, you know, it's whatever. That type of mindset, that type of mental attitude, it just doesn't work. Not in boxing anyway. Or in life, you know. If you want to be successful, if you really want it, if you really believe you can do it, then you have to do everything you can to reach that. And that mental state, that mental mindset will help you to get there. You know, no quit attitude. Doesn't matter what's going on, I'm gonna get there eventually. Have that mindset and it'll take you very far. I love the boxing lifestyle. I live the lifestyle to the fullest. That means even when there's not a fight scheduled, I'm in the gym. You know, I may not be training at full intensity, I may not be killing myself every day, but I'm staying in shape. I'm keeping those muscle fibers firing. I'm not losing that muscle memory. I'm not gaining weight. You know, some guys, they'll gain a stone, they'll gain, you know, 30 pounds just through eating and not really looking after themselves. And then they have to spend their whole fight camp losing that weight. So they fluctuate up and down for years and years. And that affects the longevity of your career. You can't live that lifestyle and be able to perform at a high level once you start getting to, you know, your 32, 33, 34, they start to drop. Whereas the guys who stay consistent, like me, you know, you can perform effectively until, you know, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. You know, Floyd Mayweather's fighting 40 years old. He's still fighting there effectively. He lives the life. You know, I've been out with him many times. He doesn't drink alcohol. I've never seen him drink. He doesn't blow up in weight. You know, he stays dedicated. And that's what you need. You need that mental strength to be able to say, hey, I've got a goal, I've got a target, and I'm not gonna let anything sidetrack me. Yeah, the parties and the girls and the drink and the food, it's all fun, but it's not gonna help you to get to your goal of becoming the best fighter you can be. When you retire, then you can do all that stuff whenever you want. Until then, tunnel vision, baby. Happiness to me is being content with what you have, not looking at other people and saying, oh wow, they have that and they have this and I wish I could have that. You can never be happy comparing yourself to others all the time. You've got to look at what you have and appreciate it, and know that, you know, there are some people in places in the world that would kill for what you have. When you think like that, you have no choice but to be happy, because there are people that are in dire straits, in bad situations that you could never even imagine. So when you look at it like that, you have to be happy with whatever you have. You know, if you're breathing, be happy. Appreciation, positivity, just being a good person. That's what happiness is. You know, everybody at some point is gonna sit there on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter and look at other people and be like, so that's his life or that's her life and this is mine. And you're gonna look at the differences. You're gonna look at what they have and what you have, and you're gonna see there's always gonna be a guy that's got more. But that guy is also looking at somebody who's got more than him, and it's just that, you know, you're never gonna be at the top. And you don't want to be, you don't need to be. you have to be the best that you can be. You have to be happy with what you have. You have to be happy in knowing that if you work hard and if you stay on the right track, eventually you'll get there. If you have that belief and you have that work ethic, then you're going to be good. You know, you don't need to be a billionaire or a millionaire, or have 10 cars or a big house to be a cool person and to be happy. I have friends who have absurd amounts of money, and I have friends that they're just normal people. And you know, I've seen guys with a lot of money and they're not happy. And I've seen guys who have nothing and all they do every day is crack jokes and smile and they live the life, you know. Not to say that money doesn't make you happy, because in many cases it does, but I'm just saying you can't look at people who are doing, you know, big things and think, oh, well, you know, you can't get upset, you know, because you don't know what's going on behind the doors. Be happy, be positive, be comfortable with who you are, be a good person, and you'll be good. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say, and I hope you take it into account, because it's real. And my next fight's October 8th at the O2 Arena, live on DAZN pay-per-view. So if you want to see one of the biggest fights in British boxing history, make sure you tune in.